Hey, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and you are watching The Rural Companion. In today's video, I'm going to do two things. First up, we are going to do a tour of an early spring garden, and second, I'm going to give you an update on life lately. In this row right here, I have two apple trees. We did successfully get our apple trees pruned in time this year, which I am really excited. You can definitely see all of that new growth, which is so good for your trees. Just to prune them at the right time frame is just vital. In between both of the apple trees, I have some herb planters. They are not full yet just because we just had our last freeze a couple days ago and I just haven't filled them up yet. They most likely will be full of basil and thyme. I have plenty of oregano back there. We'll get to that in a moment, but these beds I normally put the more summer herbs in. Now in between the two planters, I have loads of elderberries, and I had mentioned this before that, well, my elderberries have exploded and we are going to have tons of elderberries this year. Now I do have irises planted at the base of this apple tree, and of course a cat. Now up here on this row, I have two peach trees. This peach tree we planted, and so it would be probably 4 years that we have had it, and then it was, I would assume, at least 2 years old when we put it in. It is doing really well. I have stayed on top of the pruning for this tree. The other peach tree at the end of this row was here when we moved in. It had been probably on the property, if I remember right, maybe 3 or 4 years before we moved in. It was not pruned regularly and it is struggling. I did prune it really good just recently when I was pruning trees, but I'm not sure that, well, I'm not really sure what will happen with it. Again, we have more elderberry plants. And a ton of oregano. Now in this pot, I just added some rhubarb. That will not be ready this year. I will need to wait a second year before harvesting. In this pot, we have some more sage. I was curious if it would actually return just because it started dying in massive clumps last year. It does look like it came back and it is doing very well. I'll just need to prune out some of these dead sections. Now in these two long beds right here, I planted onions in most of them, most of the bed, and then I also put in some cool weather seedlings. We have some radishes, lettuce, collard greens, and beets. Now in typical Oklahoma fashion, as soon as it is warm enough to put in cool weather crops, it also becomes too hot very quickly. Tomorrow we're supposed to be almost at 90 degrees. The little seedlings are struggling because they came up and then it was too hot outside. And that's just the nature of growing things in Oklahoma. Again, here are the onions in this bed. Now in these two smaller beds right here, I have chives, and again, I planted these last year and they just came back beautifully. I filled in a bunch of strawberry plants in both beds, as well as some kale. In this bed right here, I finally got some asparagus planted. I'm really excited because I had planned on doing asparagus in a raised bed for the past several years and just haven't executed it. Now, like the rhubarb, this asparagus will not be ready this year. I will have to cut it all down and allow it to go dormant for another year, and then next year they should be ready. As you can tell, they were very spindly right now. Now, in this bed right back here, I have not planted anything. I do hope to get, I just stepped on a cat on accident. I do hope to get some cucumbers in there soon. Probably I need to do that like today or tomorrow. And that should be for my cucumbers and zucchini. Now, they need to be rotated frequently because of pests. The reason for the rotating of the zucchini and squashes, or cucumbers, zucchini, butternut squashes, the reason I rotate those, pie squash, that's the other one, pie pumpkins I mean, is because they are prone to the squash bugs, and the best method for making sure you have minimal pests and need, well, no pesticides, because I try not to use that at all in my garden, is to rotate your plants. Here we have some blackberries. These should open soon. Raspberry canes right here. Okay, if you can hear, my husband and son are working in the shop, and of course they would pick this day to make the most loud drilling sounds while I am right here in the garden. I didn't tell them beforehand, so hopefully it did not come through too bad on the video. I have a feeling it did. Okay, let's head back to the house now so that we can have that chat on life lately. Okay, so for that life update, I just wanted to kind of take a moment to share where my channel was and where it is going. Now, over the past several years, my kind of theme for my channel has been homemaking, homesteading, and homeschooling. I would bring you along for videos inside my kitchen. I would bring you along for a homeschool day in the life or various field trips that my kids and I went on. And of course, I would bring you around my homestead, visiting animals, or just coming along for projects or other things that we are doing here on our beautiful 20-acre property in rural central Oklahoma. Okay, so probably about 6-7 months ago, I did begin working part-time at a private Christian school with the intention of maintaining my part-time status through the remainder of the school year. Now, the reason I started working at this school was mainly because I wanted to see if I still had a passion for teaching. As a young adult, I had dreamed of becoming an elementary educator, specifically a second grade teacher, probably forever. And then I took several years off, 15 to be exact, to stay home and raise my children, homeschool them. I have loved every minute of it. Okay, there have been some hard times, but it has been a great process, a great time to be with my children while they were young. Now that they are teenagers, I began looking into resuming my college education. And then through talking with some friends, realized that there was a school that was willing to take me based on my homeschool experience as well as just my passion for teaching. So I decided, let's do this. Let's get in the classroom and just see if this is something that I'm still interested in. Turns out it is. Even with the hard days, I absolutely still have a passion for teaching, being in a classroom. Honestly, even after years of being at home in a non-traditional classroom or a non-traditional school building, I still have a passion for being a teacher. Then just with various things that always occur, I ended up switching to full-time, and that has been really rough. Honestly, it has been much harder than I thought it would be. primarily because my children are still home. Now my husband has been working night shifts, so he's home with them the bulk of the day, and I'm gone during the day, and then we swap. But it has been hard on us because we're not seeing each other throughout the week, Monday through Friday, and then just my thoughts and my time and my efforts are totally divided. It has given me such a respect for the working mom, now that I am one. And these are things that I just never thought about over the past 15 years, being a stay-at-home working mom. Now, I fully believe that when you stay home with your children, you are working more than full-time. However, when you are working outside of the home, all of the things that you would accomplish during the daytime hours now are crammed into your home hours. And that has been a challenge for me to learn just how to navigate being away from home after being home for so long. There are many days when I forget to set something out for dinner, forget to think about dinner, and I'm scrambling in the evening trying to come up with something that works. There have been times when I say, you know what, we're gonna do cereal, and that's okay, because, well, you know what, kids have to eat, and it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. So I can definitely appreciate, now I'm still a stickler for a healthy homemade dinner, and I try to do that most nights of the week, and we very rarely eat out, maybe once or twice a month, just because I am not a fan, first of all, of the cost, but second of all, of just the additives that are in foods that you have not made yourself. Okay, so I am working full-time. That means my home hours are shorter, which means I have not been as consistent with filming for YouTube, which is not really a big deal. This is primarily a hobby that I enjoy, but I have been struggling because I kind of miss it a lot. I plan on continuing YouTube for the foreseeable future. I just need to, I don't know, figure out maybe a new filming schedule, or if I want to adjust my video release schedule. So instead of doing one video a week, I might drop down to one every other week, or maybe switch to more of the short video form content. We will see in the next couple months. I do have a summer break coming up, which should allow things to pretty much go back to normal, but primarily I'm thinking ahead for the next school year. Now, speaking of next school year, our current homeschool year is winding down, and we have made the official decision to enroll our kids in the private school that I am teaching at. And I think that will be an exciting and just a whole new challenge for us. It will be good. There may be some difficulties just with the kids being away from home all day, just as I'm experiencing this year. I know that they're going to do great and learn some valuable skills while they are there, as well as enjoy switching classes and having different teachers, just the various things that do come with a traditional or brick and mortar school. All that to say, things have just been changing rapidly. We are no longer I am no longer the homemaker, homesteader, homeschool mom that I have been for the past 15 years. Homesteading for the past 5, but just things are changing around here. So I hope that as you are watching this video, as you have watched my previous content, I hope that you are willing to kind of transition with us, go along for this new adventure. All of my videos will still be predominantly here at home on my homestead. It just might not be quite the homemaker, homeschooler content that I have put out in the past. We will still be doing homestead videos and day in the life videos. I will still be bringing you along in my kitchen when I am cooking or baking things, meal prepping, which I have been doing a lot lately. And then of course, just cleaning around the house, doing various projects as time allows. But I will kind of be switching gears a little bit more to just a health focus, a homestead focus, and a life focus for the theme of my channel. And chances are those will kind of be a little bit more intertwined. Now, as you know, I have always had a health focus in my cooking and just my homemaking, homeschooling approach, and that will stay. We will still be a family that that parents are still educating children. It just is going to look different. We are still going to have those deep conversations as a family. We're still going to travel and do history when we're on vacation. We are still going to learn and read and enjoy our time together, but it just won't be the same. It'll be a little different. So thank you for coming along. Just thank you for listening to me right now. I hope that you can understand where my heart is, and if you are willing to just jump over with me onto this new adventure as far as YouTube goes, make sure you comment down in the comment section below. I'd love to chat with you, hear from you. If this is no longer your type of channel that you're interested in watching, I will be sad to have you leave, but I totally understand. So thanks again for watching. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for just being a loyal subscriber. And I look forward to having you back right here next time on The Rural Companion. Goodbye.